So when you bring a foreign cell phone into Colombia, you're going to discover that there are some serious problems in that. And I mean a phone that you purchased in the United States or Canada or some other place. They will let you initially buy a SIM card and they'll install it, and it could be with Tigo. It happened to me twice, so finally I understand exactly what's going on. Did it once with Movistar, then with Tigo. And then about 22 or 23 days later, okay, it happened 2 times, and I got to the bottom of it. Your service stops working. And then you go in, they go, oh, no. The reason is because your cell phone is not registered here in Colombia. You didn't purchase the cell phone here. This cell phone's not from here. So it must be registered with a local cedula. Yep, you guessed it. That's right. They're going to force you to go get your friend to let you use their cedula to register your phone. Okay? Or alternatively, you can buy a new cell phone in Colombia and it'll work no problem, no limit. No 23, 24 day limit on how long that SIM card will work. It'll be fine then. Absolutely. You can do that. And you won't have to go back and register it. And I know what you're thinking. You're going, whoa, wait a minute. This must be some sort of little trick or gimmick, some insider corruption within the Colombian government to force you to buy a cell phone locally. Well, it could be. I mean, it could be. I've heard people talk about how in the aduanas, I forgot the name for customs and import, there's a department within the government that handles that. It's the aduana, I forgot. At any rate, there are local sellers and importers who make a ton in selling their cell phones locally here. So for you to just bring one in, well, it'd be great if the 100,000 foreigners here who stay here, or maybe it's 80,000, who stay here long enough to need to get their cell phone registered for them to buy a new cell phone. I suppose. But I'm not trying to answer that question here. So what is the deal? What do you have to do? Okay, I had an iPhone and I brought it into Colombia, and sure enough, I went to Tigo, I put in my SIM card, no problem at all, wonderful. And the young lady, they're very irresponsible, borderline negligent. Hey, no problem, I'll get you the thing, put it in, and it's working and going. I'll sell it to you, I'll sell. And sure enough, I get my Tigo SIM card working. Now, mind you, this is the first time. This was back in November through March 2020 through March 2021. And then, boom, it hit me. Why isn't this working? What's going on? And it was a pain. I had to go back there. She didn't quite understand it. Then later, the employee right next to her explained it. And, oh, wait a minute. And yeah, sure enough, this SIM card, this phone is not registered here in Colombia. So you've got to get a cedula for that. You could use a friend. You could use whoever. And otherwise, you're screwed. Okay, the phone's no good. And if you're a foreigner who has their own cedula, then you can use that. But if you haven't gotten that yet, forget it. You're screwed. So I got that handled, and it was somebody in the phone office right there. The reason I had to go through this twice is because the first time, it was this nice guy, and the original girl who had sold it. Between the two of them, they came up with a cedula. Okay, first he said, just use Tuyo, right? To the girl, go ahead, do it. Come on, you've wasted his time. He's doing this, or And she said, okay, all right, fine. And they just registered it right there. And, it was like 2 days later, it was working again. It takes, after they register, it can take a little bit. But I didn't quite get it that it would apply to every single phone. That's another thing. They didn't come out and say that every single phone. I thought that it had to do with the particular my iPhone, my particular manufacturer, or something like that, or maybe it was unique to Tigo. I wasn't exactly sure. Well, when I came back the second time with an Android phone, in early December, this was a month ago, right? A little over a month ago, I ran into the same thing. It was an Android. I needed to get it going and go. I just figured, well, it was something about Tigo. Well, it was something about that device. I wasn't quite sure. Well, exact same thing happened again. And this time I really went after it. I went down to shops. I went to this place. I went to that place. And I demanded, and my Spanish over the year preceding had improved a good deal, and I felt more comfortable really demanding. And what's going on? Well, what about in other situations? Hypothetical 1, 2, 3, and I got these answers. I got this thing answered, and I had a girl. You actually probably. I had a girl do it for me, and I used her Cedula. And so that way I didn't have to buy a new cell phone. I didn't want to buy a new cell phone. So you got to remember, if you bring in that phone, you could go down to any old shop and get your SIM card. Great, terrific, wonderful. And it'll work for 22, 3 odd days. Okay? But then after that, forget it. Now, you could go back and just buy a new one at a different place or something. Or at the same place. You'd have to buy a new SIM card. But no one, come on, we're not going to do that. So, and you might say, well, why didn't you keep using your Tigo one? Well, because I didn't want to keep using my iPhone. I had gotten used to use this Android. And I did reactivate it. So now I actually have two. I paid I paid like 50,000 Colombian pesos, maybe $13 to get it. So I just said I have two, and I do. I have two working cell phones here, and both with data, both with the whole deal. I can call, whatever, both of them going at the same time. So that at any moment, if something happens with one phone, I've got another. So there's your answer, guys. You need to be aware of that, and it's a little bit of monkey business there.